Okay. 7 o'clock, we will call the special work session on the budget to order. I'd like to thank you guys for coming up tonight. Kind of working over the, I guess we better make sure everybody's here and we'll do a roll call first. Roll call: Chisholm.
Present.
Bench.
Present.
Smith.
Present.
Van Dorn.
Present.
Cool. Okay. So we are getting ready to prepare the fiscal year 2020 budget. Ina's been working on it. I've looked over it. Want to get some opinions and we'll discuss. I think last year, if I remember right, we just kind of went line by line down what she had prepared down the spreadsheet. And if anything jumped out that was out of line or out of whack, we can discuss it and kind of figure out what, where, and why. And
A few changes.
okay. Thank you. So I'll just go ahead and start running down, and you guys can tell me to slow down or stop or will when we get to something. If there's questions or comments or anything. I'm gonna start out right there. We got the wages for the city man. Which comes out of 4 different: the sewer utility, the water utility, the road use utility, and the parks and rec fund. At his current rate, that would be about a little over $12,000, $31.20 coming out of each fund. He will be due for a raise in April of this year.
I think it was with the raise that I put in here, the $12.
Okay. And that would be $1. Last year we gave him $1 an hour, and if he intends to stay on, I don't see why we wouldn't try to get him a little more money this year for the work that he does. So that would be at a rate of $12.
And that was, you said that was figured in?
That,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's where that 12,480 gets us, and that's an average of 20 hours per week. He does work a little more during the summer than he does in the winter. So, but on average, it's about 20 hours. And yep, and you see right underneath there where it does say 25 each from parks, roads, water, and sewer. His employee benefits, which that was something.
That's IPERS and
IPERS, Medicare, Social Security, divided up. That's what IPERS is. I think it says on there 9.44%. 0.6% to Social Security, and then a little less than 0.1% to, a little more than 0.1% to Medicare.
And those employee benefits, most of those we levy for, so we actually get the money for it. We just have to narrow down what we need.
Okay. That'll equal about $1875. Then we go, the next line there would be Ina's wages. We've done some research. According to the one piece of literature we got, Ina was the second lowest paid city clerk in the state. There were a lot of deputy clerks making more money than her. Coming up here real soon. I did her review last week with her, sat down, talked to her, and filled out the paperwork. I think at some point we need to try to find some money to get Ina up to about $15. I remember we had a meeting last year there where we hired or a couple years ago, we hired a temporary employee, and the segment of the crowd said that we needed to pay people more, and we've got a good one, and we'd like to hang on to her. And reading that stuff where it said she was the second lowest paid in the state kind of bothered me a little bit. So I would like to see that. I think the expected, the rate that I'm hoping we get her to would be about 15, which would equal 24, basically just under 25,000 a year, with 17,000 coming from the general fund, and then the water and sewer, or water and garbage for the billing that she does with that would kick in maybe 15% or 30% there on the other side.
I'll note on both Gary and myself, neither of us are using all of our hours, so I put down the full amount here, but we don't work that full number of hours usually.
On the water end of it, So I'm so proud of my numbers, and I think I missed Medicare on it. On the water end of it, I voted to raise water rates. I figured up on the water end of it what it would cost to raise her $2 an hour. I put IPERS in, based it on 145 water accounts, and I based it on 32 hours a week, and the cost per household per year on the water side would be $7.46
So it wouldn't be
to give her a $2 an hour raise. So if you're figuring, say, 22 to 25 hours somewhere in there, my guess is it's about $7 a year per household off the water end of it. So
I guess what I'd like to say is, when you have somebody that's doing the job, I guess you don't know how that works if you have somebody that can't do the job. I'm getting it kind of backwards here, so it's important that we have somebody compensated properly for keeping us out of trouble.
Yep, I would agree with that. That's something that like I said, we're not voting on anything tonight, so moving forward though, that's something that's gonna be coming up real soon on the agenda for a meeting here. Ina's employee benefits, the IPERS and everything, that comes up, as you see there, to $3,500. Mayor's wages, those haven't changed, it's $1,000. And then the benefits, employee benefit.
When city council rate changed, do you? Has that been that way for a long time, or is it?
35. The city council wages has been 35 for 3 or 4 years anyway. I know it was 25 when I was on the council, and
I think they raised it, yeah, that's been 2 years ago.
2 or 3 years. Yeah.
Is that something we need to look at and keep it the same? Or?
we pay too much now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say personally, I don't think.
Well,
Okay.
35 is good. Okay.
I hope we're doing it for the betterment of the town rather than personal reward.
Yeah. So that would be 35 per meeting, $2,830. Does that account for any special sessions or anything, or is that pretty much just for the regular?
It's just
Just for the regular meeting, so any special session
We
would be.
might have 2 extra for yours, I think bump up enough to.
Usually have a budget hearing, and I know we did one last year to approve buying some rock, I think.
so we had 3, I think, last year.
Yeah, so not a whole lot of extra meetings and everything. So. It's included in Gary's, to have his phone allowance, $25 per month. That also comes out of each of the 4 departments, or funds. There's water utility, sewer utility, parks, and road use, yeah. Unemployment insurance, included in the employee benefits there, is $300, and workman's comp, $1,000. And those are set that we don't, I mean, that's.
It might vary a little bit, but that's kind of where he estimated that it would be this year.
Okay. Koch Brothers, that's our printer and
Maintenance contract.
maintenance contract
That
on.
includes our cartridges and service. And then if it's over, I forget what the actual limit is, but if it's over, they charge us a few dollars extra for the overage, but we haven't used very much over.
Okay, and that's roughly $755, and then $50 for copies. Paper for the copier, $280. Postage for water bills, $750, and that could be split between water and sewer funds, but less comes from sewer, correct?
That's the way I've got it in there. It's up to you guys if you want to leave it that way. Typically we would split, but we always have a struggle to get that money to make the payments, so I don't like taking things out of sewer unless we have to. Whole lot of people here.
Other postage and box rental, $405. Box rental's $56. First class for bills and letters, 55 cents each, and that's how we come up with that $405 number.
That went up a little bit. The postage raises later this month. It was 50 cents, now it's 55 cents each.
Envelopes, notebooks, pens, just supplies for the office, about $500. We get into legal fees for Heather,
That number was just total guess, because I don't know what we're coming out in terms of the houses and stuff this year.
how much did we spend last year, or did we budget for last year? Was that the same, or was that?
I think it was a lot less. I think I bumped it up to
Do we know what we're paying an hour for legal?
$175 an hour. Yep.
Something serious, it could get out of whack easily.
Yep, that's what we,
legal service. Well, we had more than that last year, so we used it. We had 4,500 in there. You know, we changed
and I
it.
know we haven't come close to
Yeah.
4,500 in legal fees.
I would guess maybe a couple thousand.
No, I would say we stick with the 3,000, and then if we have to amend later, that would be the way to go there. You guys in agreement there? You think that's?
Yeah. Thinking a couple of them are gonna go smoother than we think.
Publications in the Courier, $1,800, and that is an estimate. Anderson Larkin, who will do our W-2s and kind of help us out, budgeted for $1,500. State annual finance exam, $475. Volunteer coverage for a volunteer group is $100, and then our ICAP insurance.
And I don't have the amount definite on that. This is just what we had last year.
Okay, and that's the same as last year, was $3,390. ICAP safety grant, which we will be applying for here pretty quick. That's $1,000 that can go toward something that helps public safety. And then we have our fire department, what we pay the 60 cents per $1,000 valuation estimate is $2,665. That has gone up just a little bit, right, with the valuations gone up a little.
Evaluations.
Yeah, so that's up just a little bit.
So we should be paying them approximately $222 a month.
Yeah. Yeah, and if they wanted to bill us monthly, that's what it is. As I said, we've never ever received a bill from them, so that, it's coming. I mean, it's, I'm sure, but, yeah.
And that apparently is gonna be at a later date set up treasurer just automatic, right?
It's
That's
supposed to
kinda
be,
what I
when
was
the 2080 agreement's done.
That's what I was understanding
It's supposed
the
to
other
come
day,
directly
so.
out of the property taxes then, yeah. So when you pay your property taxes, we won't ever see that, it'll go straight to them, so. The sheriff, we are on the tier where we give them $3,300 per quarter. And if they have to serve papers, it's an extra $200 every time they have to serve something.
Saving 45 to serve. I just.
Oh, okay,
Everybody
I'm sorry,
got
okay.
I just put in.
Yeah, that's right. 45 to serve, and if we needed papers served, estimated a little high, a little extra there. Those guys have been, anytime we've really needed them, seriously for anything, they've been here quickly. And right now is probably a good time. I think there's 3 of the guys on the sheriff's department running. If we do need anything, I think they're probably all,
Signs are up.
if signs are up, they're gonna be willing to help, I think, with about anything right now, so. The sewer loan, as you can see, $30,140, $18,000 coming from the sewer fee, $12,140 coming out of the sewer utility account, and that's due in June. And then the $6,000, the interest on the loan, and the fee due in December and June is $6,735. And then to get the 110% put back that was required by the Iowa Finance Authority, that'll be $1,350 set aside.
That's if we do it in 3 years. I wasn't sure how long a time period you guys wanted to wait. I just knew that that number would fit in to
So
what
that
our income was going to be.
Gotta get that back for us and set back. Phone and internet at City Hall is approximately $245 per month. That would get us $2,950 for the year. Flip over to page 2 there. Alliant Energy for the street lights, and that comes from the road use fund, $10,200, approximately $845 per month. Alliant Energy at City Hall, heating and air conditioning comes from the general fund, is $3,000 approximate. The water utility that we use down at the water tower, that'd be the water tower and the down by the school, is $840. That's paid from the water fund. The ballpark, they paid for their electricity last year. It was about $800. In the agreement that they had signed, the city had signed with them years ago, it said that the city would pay for that for them. They volunteered to do that because they knew the dire straits we were in last year financially. Now we're not in such bad shape. We'll bring it up before they get started this year at a meeting and see if you guys want to take back over paying that, or if we want to continue for another year with them paying it. They're pretty agreeable, and they'll work with us on whatever we want to do for the most part. They're really easy to work with. But that runs about $800 there at the Ball Diamond. Alliant Energy in the park, $300 is roughly what it runs to run the lights and the Christmas decorations and that kind of thing up there. During the carnival, about the most electricity I think that gets used up there in the park would be around that time. $300 there. Sewer repairs and storm drain, it's something we discussed down there by the cemetery. Need to maybe get some estimates on that. That's $5,000 coming out of the sewer utility. Water repairs, Lathrop, that's an estimate of possibly 4 per year at roughly $1,500. Some of them been a little less than that. Some of them been, I don't think any's been more than that. I think that's pretty much been about the high water mark. It's $1,500, but we're setting aside $6,000 for that. And then water repair, set aside, putting $10,000 back in case.
That would actually probably have to go if we have to get that radio thing replaced, that, or we haven't got a number yet back on the maintenance contract for the.
Speaking of that, while the council's here, probably gonna be the guy making, what do you guys want me to do? Well, without a maintenance contract, do you wanna sign one or do you don't wanna sign one?
You're talking about the tower.
On the tower, and there's, everything I've been researching, there's benefits to both sides. I'm not sure we want on a contract.
There is
And I've got a couple of people I might call. Frankly, McGuire hasn't called us back. I don't know if I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt anymore or not. There's an outfit in Emory, Iowa, I really like their websites. And they did say they'd work with the city. If they didn't wanna sign a contract, they'd come down and take a look. It might be due for a cleaning, maintenance. I have no idea what that'll cost. What we've been talking about, as I refer to it, the radio thingamajiggy. Do we want to do anything? Nothing? You know,
From
that's
talking
just
to-
some questions to be thinking over.
Talking to that guy
So-
earlier this week, he said if we do ever have a problem with the radio system from the pump house to the place at the school, they don't have, it's so antique and so old, they don't have the parts to fix it. So,
And he should be sending us down a
estimate, he's gonna give us I think he tried out like an A, B, and a C.
A, B, and a C.
And that's something that we'll be discussing. Hopefully, he was trying to get it done by Friday so we could get it on the agenda for January to discuss it and look over the options.
If we don't go with a contract for maintenance on the tower, we need to really find out kind of what we need to do and how often. If we're, if we're taking that part over.
I don't think they're driving down free, and again, I haven't called them, I'm just looking at a website. This is an outfit in Emory, and I've also got the name of Wapello Counties, and they're out of Lincoln, I believe, and they said they've used them from day one.
Do we have any records when that's been cleaned or?
Probably all I know is
2016.
Toby from McGuire said it was probably due, and that's the last time I talked to him.
I said 2016 was the.
That
So
was,
it-
that was painting the outside.
Right, that was inside and out.
Inside and out, okay.
Do you think they did the inside?
Yeah,
It said the maintenance and the painting on the bill that I found, it was 4,500 for that time that they were here.
Well, I don't,
because they were down inside. They cleaned it because Dave was still up there when they cleaned it the last time.
I did some interesting, and Kevin had it pulled up on the
Yeah,
computer.
we also got some guys that'll dive it.
That's what the guys in there, scuba gear diving in the tower.
Look like they're off SEAL team.
Stuff. It was,
Let's just check.
I'm
if
making
it's
a
done in
joke, seriously.
I
16.
understand, but.
If it's done in 16, we probably won't.
The company in Emory,
How often?
The 16, I thought was just the exterior.
Okay.
I really do.
if,
We need to talk to Gary because they blew in here, we weren't expecting, and he had to go let the ladder down so they could.
that'd have been after 16 then, because
And
Dave was still around.
reason I
16.
think the
Yeah,
water-
Gary wouldn't have been
Gary wouldn't
working there at 16.
But that's the last thing done was the exterior was painted.
Okay.
Well,
And I was-
Dave was, said the guys were down inside cleaning, because they had what'd they say, there was rust in there, and they had to go in there and sand it and chip it,
Put
and then seal
epoxy
it,
on it.
and put epoxy on it.
But the last thing we did is, I'm sure the last thing we did was just paint the exterior because
And that could have
the water was in it because they were talking about the temperature, that water, and the guy said it'll be okay, we can paint it.
Gary started in April of 17, so.
Yeah.
So if
Say
they happened to
Gary,
have done
yeah.
the exterior, they might have done the exterior. that
so
way.
Linus said one bill they had was, I don't know, and the one in 2012 was, I don't know, what was it, 50, it was 50,000 somewhere in there, it's pretty high.
That would have been the inside probably.
Yeah. The company in Emory, whether they'll drive down here, I think they will. They said if you don't sign a contract, they'd be happy to come down. I suppose give us their opinion, that's our call. I'm sure they're not gonna come down for free. Do you guys want me to call up and see what it's gonna cost, or if they'll even do it?
Let's get a hold of the old company who.
McGuire.
McGuire.
Let's get a hold of them, find out what they did, when, the last 2 times, and how often it needs to be done. If nothing needs to be done,
Let's not
let's
do
don't
it.
worry about it.
Maybe we need to send them a letter, Kevin, and see, like,
Well-
official stationery and all that.
Yeah, on McGuire, this is, I guess from the old days, all right? We talked to Toby twice. Toby told me I'm the sales guy now for McGuire for the Iowa. Okay, sales, there's quite a word, there's money involved. He hasn't called us back. And we were gonna get an email on all that stuff and everything. Now, we'll write a letter, I'll just write one straight to the company and ask them for the stuff or
Yeah.
whatever, but that's why I'm kinda making calls and looking at some other people. And it's probably something maybe we ought to bid out too. I mean, there's some money involved there.
Mainly, let's worry about getting
Find out
the
what's
old
done.
records and find out where we set.
Before we start doing
Yeah,
something.
if we don't need to clean the darn thing, we either set on the money or put it to the radio thingamajig or something, I don't know.
Is that something we need to think about, is having a file in there when we do this maintenance on things?
Well, there should be.
We keep everything on file now.
Yeah.
That's what we,
But what I'm saying, your receipts probably in with the financials, maybe we need to have something you can go to, says water tower, or maybe a copy of the,
I think.
We will have it.
Yeah, we do.
It's probably, it may even be there, we'll just look around for it.
Surely they got it somewhere.
Well, they wrote a check.
They wrote a check for it, so it's gotta be there somewhere.
Right, so we'll just have to do some digging. There's a lot of files in there, but there's a lot that didn't get put where it was supposed to go for a long time.
I guess what
We can
I'm
do that.
proposing, maybe we have one on the truck, the tractor, the tower.
And a lot of them do, that's what a lot of them do have their
I'll
file.
have contacts in there, so if something, you run to that file, oh, I need to call so-and-so, or,
We had a deal world where I just go hit a button on a computer and see all the maintenance.
But that's what, I think, 10,000 for now. We'll see where we gotta go.
I think that's all we can
Yeah.
probably afford to even think about.
Okay, waste management, 1,445 per month. And cleanup day, we did budget for 2 times again, just in case. I think the fall one did go over very good when we had it at the fire station. The dumpsters the first time were full, the dumpsters the second time were full, so I think that was,
I think we probably don't do the same this time, same in the spring as we do the fall, because the fall we turned away a lot of people.
yeah, so get the same number of dumpsters both times.
Well, this waste management,
Yep,
okay, the manners, waste management charges us so much for the manners. Every 3 years, we hit them up, about, because they raise it so much every year, we hit them up every 3 years, and they knock it down in half.
really?
Yeah. We were paying like $600 for them to do all 3 manners. We're down to $300 now. They just says, oh, well, the guy that manages it for us, he just calls them up and says, hey, you've raised your price 3 years now, and it's the same stuff. Oh, okay, and then they just kind of write it off, and
I think, yeah, we'll make a phone call to Waste Management then and see if there's anything we can negotiate on a better rate.
because he just says, oh, it's the same amount of trash every time, so, and you keep raising it up to us, and they got 1 dumpster, the rest of them are cans.
Yeah.
But he says, well, they've cut in half twice in the last 6 years. Raise it up and raise it up, and
Waste management, I can't find a contract, and when I ask them for it, they can't find one either, so neither of us really know what the contract says and what we have with them.
Well, then I definitely think we need to
negotiate.
Yeah, he
negotiate
said he
something,
would
maybe
come talk to
negotiate
us,
that
and
down.
so far he hasn't said.
But it was surprised last time we had the little meeting, and he said, oh yeah, we got a bill, and he says, I just called him up and said it was too high, and they knocked
Who
it
said
down.
that, the guy running the manor?
Yeah.
Murphy Management.
He's Murphy Management.
There's several different people in this area that are picking up refuse, so you might have a little bit of a,
Started bidding more.
Well, then people that,
we
you
want to
know,
keep
the
good
people we have
service.
do the cleanups, or, I don't know what all they've got for stuff. They're quite a bit cheaper than Waste Management was.
Or for cleanup. Well, he doesn't pick up, he,
Trash.
Trash.
He just does the dumpsters.
yeah, he's just dumpsters.
Commercial sanitation, so we
Yeah.
went with, wasn't it? With the
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
guys.
He's just dumpsters, big.
Yeah, I didn't know if he did trash, you
Yeah.
know.
Not that I know of, I don't think he does.
You might check on him.
They're
I can call and check on him.
Bridge City. I mean, I don't know if they came out this way or not.
You know, I don't know whether, how big they are, whether they want to expand, but there's a couple outfits in Monroe County that,
The McGee Sanitation, I think, they went over.
yeah, and then there's another one.
Carter Miller.
Yeah.
And then, see, Albia's got it, they can't have duals dumpsters in the city of Albia.
Oh, really?
It's gotta be single axle, tearing up streets, and that's why they went to the ordinance that they gotta be single axle.
Single axle.
Makes it tough for those guys, but they have to make more trips, but saves the streets. And that's where we're having a problem down at the Manor, because that guy turns in there.
Well, maybe we could check into some other companies and don't hurt to try,
Never
save
heard.
money wherever we can.
Waste Management is a huge corporation,
Yeah,
and they're all over.
but see, that's why we went and, they're huge, so they gave us a discount every time we kind of,
Yeah, I mean, if we shop around,
say.
let them know about it, and then tell them, hey, you guys may need to check your rates or
When
something.
we were talking about the contract that neither of us could find, he said he thought it would have been expired in 2017, so I don't think we really even have a contract
Yeah.
at this point.
It won't hurt to call, so yeah, we'll make a couple phone calls there too. That would be great.
We can save a bunch of money there.
We'll save a bunch of money and cut the garbage rates back down. And that would be,
Well, I don't have time to kind of get a hold of, or do we need to make a list of?
and you guys made me a list, I come in and call them too. I mean, that's fine by me.
We just need to make a list, and I
Yeah.
can think of companies or write down what
Yeah.
yeah.
So that, and then that would be, like I said, that's $17,340, based on the $14.45 per month. Cleanup day twice a year would be $1,200 is what we roughly there. Billing forms for water.
I actually did not put anything in on that line. I looked at supplies, and I think we have that for the whole year.
Okay. Got enough of them ahead. Rathman Rural Water, $22,000.
Did we, do some leak checking at one time?
I don't think we ever had the guy come down. He was going to come down. It was kind
Because
it-
there were stops or something we weren't
He
sure?
wanted to get the curb stops all located. It was the guy from the Rural Water Association.
I'm not gonna say what I was getting ready to say.
One of
Yeah,
the-
it's the guy from the Iowa Rural Water Association.
One of the same company. We basically stopped hearing from him in June. I contacted him in September of 17 to try to get the rate study done, that we never got done. And they were supposed to be down sometime after June, and we never heard back from
On
them.
the curb stop guy, I will take a shot at him.
So we did the study, he just didn't respond to it.
On the curb stop guy, he was chewing at the bit to come down. It's just that, you know, hell, we just, I guess, didn't either do it or just didn't have the time or what. We wanted to have all of them where they were at. And I've called, and everybody remembers, because I know the cameras running, apparently the lady that come down was very attractive, and supposedly they GPSed all the curb stops in town according to 3 different people. They don't know. I can't find out. And I've called,
That's French
That was
Ranch.
French Rancher.
and
yeah.
you deal with French Reniker, call them up, and I'm about to the point somebody just needs to get pretty huffy with them.
They've had a tremendous turnover in engineers.
Yeah.
They
But
have- They're on their 3rd or 4th.
But I'm almost sure there's GPS up there, and if there is, that guy could be in here and out in half a day. He's wanting to do it. I mean, those guys are fanatical about saving water. I mean, that's about the only way to phrase it.
This isn't technically a budget item, but while I'm thinking about it, I'd like to throw it out here. Sometime here soon, Rathman will put extra chlorine in the system. And the last time, we didn't have any contractor, we didn't have any money, so we didn't mess around draining the hydrants. So that's something we really need to look at this year.
No
when they
problem.
do
We
that.
got a guy that'll come down and do it. I think, unless he's busy and gone, we'll just call Leonard over and they'll bill him and have him float down.
When we started last January, when we come in office, we were estimating we were gonna use 11 million gallons in water. After finding the leak at the corner, the leak in McConkey's, 2 or 3 other leaks, we ended up coming in at 8,088,904 gallons. So we ended up, after finding those leaks and taking care of them, come down quick. I don't think we used, there might have been 1 month that was over 600,000 in the last 6. I think they were mostly hovered around the 550,000 mark. So that was, come in way better there. This year, I'm estimating that to be this number to come down finally. Had 3 straight years increases in water usage, probably due to a lot of leaks and stuff. We found enough of them, that should get down to around, hopefully 600, or 6 million, 6.5 million, somewhere like that. So hopefully we'll be spending a little less on water to Rathman.
Anywhere we've got water shut off, or we have shut off water, we need to start paying attention now to, like that trailer house. where it started
Walter
leaking.
was humming out of there. I heard it when I got out of the car.
You know, if you shut them off, if they're gonna freeze, we need to know about it, it's gonna happen. If they're not, in the ground 3 feet or 4 feet, they're gonna freeze.
Yeah. I don't know, there's the decision, I guess. Okay, on the rural water, my understanding, these guys just, no charge on that, it's the state, we belong to them. Okay, here's the deal, if we shut them off, should they be shut off at the curb stop? Then they shouldn't freeze because we're below frost line. But if the curb stop's bad, now here's where the problem arises. If there's a shut off notice and the curb stop's bad, we all know who pays for the curb stop to be replaced. So there lays the rub.
Yeah, we just need to find a curb stop and work on getting it shut off.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just not wanting to mess with the curb stop. Well, yeah, then you're gonna, how many thousands of gallons Not bad, but it isn't.
So,
That we're paying for.
Yeah.
and then there's the other
Last 3
concern,
years.
I'll be willing to call the guy again. If we want to make insurance available for people to buy to cover some of these things, that's fine, a lot of towns are doing it. If these guys come down and listen at the curb stops, and who was the guy you and I rode around with, the older fella?
Yeah, he did.
They say almost all of them are gonna be between the curb stop, when you catch the leaks, it'll be between the curb stops and the house. Now, I'll tell you, if we got a leak, it's gonna have to get fixed. So that means, bottom line, the homeowner's gonna have to replace that curb stop. And that includes me, you, and everybody else that's got one running into the house. That could get kinda hot. So I guess, but again, I don't think it'd be that much. I talked to the guy at Rural Water. He said he'd be happy to come down and put it together. It seems like it's through a good association, probably run somebody about $5 a month to have it. And that would cover all the digs, and there's even like an overusage on water. Say you got a stool running, it'd pick some of that up too. So just give them the option to buy us, what I'm saying, and if they don't,
To buy one.
insurance to cover like a dig. Yeah, and
Yeah, that's a good idea. The sales tax on water would be the next thing, moving down after the Rural Water Association, $3,000 for that. The water billing software, is that just the license is what we're paying for there, is just under $1,300. Joe Crookham, who does all our testing and everything, he is paid out of the water and sewer utility. $550 per month, 70% from the water, out of the sewer, and 30% from the water.
Is his contract coming up?
Well, if we've got it.
I don't even know if he's got one.
Huh?
I don't even know if he's got one.
No, let's not now, let's just be aware that the reason he came back is we gave him a contract for a certain period of time. We need to work with
Make
Joe.
sure.
I know his intent seems to be to stay because he's taking continuing ed this month.
I think so. Yeah.
But that was the only way he would come back, if we
With the
give him a
contract.
contract for a specified length of time.
Yeah, he is, I think, like you said, planning on staying with us. He's going to continue to help us out. Autumnal water pollution control, $360 out of the sewer utility to them. Keystone water test every July, it's $110. Lead testing in water,
I don't think we have it this year, but I kind of left it there just in case.
because we weren't sure on that, but
Was that the one you gave us the
That
valve?
was the one we.
The little
It
bottles.
did last year.
It was a year behind, so it's gonna come up quicker than it normally would.
we found the bottles back there. It was supposed to have been done the year previous and didn't get done. That's why we had to send letters out stating that it didn't get done. I think you got that with your, is that the last water bill? Yeah, I think so. So, but yeah, that's been taken care of now. But yeah, I think that's an every 2-year deal, correct?
It should be. So I think it'll go on into the next fiscal year, maybe instead of this one.
Okay. Fuel for the city truck, mower, tractor, that's paid out of the 4 funds, the road use, the parks, water, and sewer, for all the uses that, all the hats it wears. $500 is just an estimate there. $75 estimated for the snow removal. Maintenance on the mower and the truck, estimated $800, that also comes out of the 4. Demolition of derelict houses, and that's just a guess, maybe to try to sell the property, or if we end up having to tear one down, something of that nature. Budgeted 10,000. See where that gets us, I guess. We'll see how that works. Ash trees, we budgeted 1,250. I know that's not a lot, but I think we got a lot of the trees taken care of. I know there are a few, and like Bob has discussed, maybe topping some of the other ones if there's something real bad. Just seeing how much that would run us.
I'd like to know how long they stand after they're dead, you know, I mean, there's some forester, somebody give you, you know, I mean.
Probably quite a while.
They'll charge you about the same price to top one, and we'll take it down.
Really?
Yeah,
I said, might as
that's
well.
why we took them down.
Yeah.
And that's what, I had 3 different people tell me.
The-
There's a lot more work involved in topping it than there is taking the whole thing down.
The sad part, as long as we keep importing these invasive species, the taxpayers, i.e. us, have to pick up the slack. I mean, it's a problem in Iowa. You know.
It's, I don't, you know, like we were talking the other day, just drive by Wildwood Park.
It's just not
Ottumwa has no way that they're gonna address the ash tree problem under street footage. They do not have the money. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And I'm sure their council guys are sitting there saying, bang, bang, the thing we are, cross their fingers and hope when they fall down, they don't hit nobody. It's,
But we'll see that.
Well, as long as we got some money in there, if we have to.
If it's
Yeah,
an
we have to
emergency,
use it, yep, and that's kind of what that's for, just sort of an emergency fund. Put $1,250, miscellaneous park expense, $500.
This year we had some electrical repairs, and I don't know if we might need to paint something, I guess, a little bit under that.
Yep. That's cleaning supplies, paper products for here at City Hall, $100. Pretty much take care of it for the year. Rock and sand, put $1,500. I know when they did the dig, Lathrop did his last dig for us. He recommended we have a pile of rocks sitting around somewhere. It was just for emergency purposes. His kids always have it.
he said one load should be sitting there,
Yeah.
which is,
That was just a recommendation from Mike.
So this was just a guess by me, so if you guys think you need more, less, I can.
Do you guys feel 1,500 sufficient, or is there?
A lot of little cost, $800
what was it,
It
3?
was 200 and something for the rock and about 200 for delivery, so it ended up being about
So you got
400.
$400 for 12 ton probably. That's what that all
I
probably.
thought it was 10.
Some of them are all 17, but I think we got
Yeah, I
16,
think we just
17.
got 10 last time, but we might as well try to get a load when we get a load. Instead of that's a half a load, be about 16 to 18 ton.
So,
Give something for this case to play in, I guess.
Yeah, I see his toys over there.
$1,500 is good. Move on. Street repairs. This is what we show that we have in the road use fund with what we'll be getting this.
This is just a guess. I just made it come out even with what I expected us to receive from the use, so.
Okay, so that's where that 20,000 is coming from. I'd like to get a crew in, like an actual crew, come get some estimates and maybe start putting some back so we can, I mean, end of the day, I'd like to see streets start getting paved in town. Anybody that comes in here from out of town, I teachers all the time at the school when I'm over there at ball practice, stop in, give me help constantly about the potholes and everything else.
So
I tell them to slow down.
what we're basically looking at then is next year, I'm gonna defer to my fellow councilman because I'm in a quandary. What we're basically looking at next fiscal year, then we have 20,000, we could probably say it's there. Is that gonna be pretty close to right? So then the debate is, do we spend the whole 20 to do a street or two? Do we lay 10 back each year like I think we should? I really don't care, it's just, and then spend 10,000 to try and get some partial repair in. Is it practical to do partial repair? I don't know none of this stuff.
I think nothing's been done in how many years? They said we use every bit we've got.
Well, Myers dropped,
Go get them and
he done 30-some
We could do
thousand.
3
in-
streets maybe.
I'd have to look, Jerry. Myers spent 30-some thousand in 2014,
But that was.
15.
Oh.
Depending on the street, we need to think about drainage, because that's a problem here in town. If we don't get the water away from it,
Yeah.
You're gonna have
We
to
need to
ditch
do-
first.
we
We
have
have
to
to
ditch
ditch
first.
Ditch and,
certain places that needs to be
yeah,
taken
ditch and
care of.
culverts is the big thing, just to
That's
get the
gonna
water
be part
away.
of the street, so that's gonna be part of the deal.
That
Kevin has
20,000
called,
to come
Kevin has
this
reached
year.
out to Norris Asphalt to have them come down and give us an
Yeah.
estimate.
Yeah.
And that's what, I think we need some estimates. And,
You know, TJ, so hopefully he can come down and I was kinda half thinking maybe the first year, and I don't know if that'd work, the really bad places, could we just, and I mean do it right, could we do like, you know, like say in front of the Methodist church down that area, could we just hit that one and then go to the, say down by Bill Mitchell's and nail the worst ones this year, or is that gonna be?
Yeah, half
Half
a block, like
feasible.
from the Methodist church, from the school, and then
By the-
probably on the west side of them elevators.
Try and get the worst
That's
ones
the
this
west
year and
side.
then work the other ones in with set, you know, set enough back where we can,
Those.
I'm not smart enough.
2 or 3 places where they dug in when they were working on the sewer, and those have really gone down to the church and
Yeah.
down to Harder's. And
you know.
they're surely settled by now, that,
Yeah.
you know, if we put something on top, it should.
And then we could jokingly refer to them as hillbilly speed bumps, or speed bumps, and say they serve public safety, but.
It does
Uh,
slow
definitely
some
help with
people
It does slow them
I'd
down.
say we spend.
You know that, I'd love to do something on that main street there where all the tractors driving stuff on South Street, but I'd say leave that go, do these other ones closer to school and on the parade route.
I'd go for that.
I don't care if we have to put some rock on that other road.
Yeah.
Probably be the most practical, wouldn't it? Just rock the heck out of it and look at it for a while.
Let the elevator take care of it, let the blade. I
Yeah.
don't care, cause
Yeah.
there's no, you can't fix that street.
The only way you can fix that is put 8 inches of
Yeah.
asphalt or cement there, and that's the only thing you can fix that
We
with.
can't afford it, and that's not on the parade route or in the school vicinity anyway, so. I'd say let's just try to fix, for the school and kind of them few bad places, you
Yep.
know. And hopefully they can just do it in a half a block section or something, what I'm hoping, cause like by the church there's just that bad spot in the middle. You know, it's real bad, so.
Probably won't go, but if anybody wants to drive, I'll ride with them. There is a deal March 7th in Grinnell. And we are a member, we need to pay the dues, where, what's the name of the organization?
Eastern Iowa Coalition, something.
And I like Grinnell at their Pizza Hut, they will have a meeting regarding street maintenance. And there'll be a bunch of towns there, and frankly, you'll probably get some good ideas from some of them. Not that we'll be able to afford any of it, but
Yeah.
you'll see some people that are pretty smart. But I don't like to drive at night.
I would like to go, but I'm hoping I'm still coaching basketball.
I know you
I'll
are.
tell you that right now. I mean, that's what if I'm not coaching basketball, I'll probably be there.
So
but-
maybe we'll get lucky and they'll videotape it and we can watch the tape. But
Where's that at?
it's Grinnell at the Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
And if my boy was still living there, I'd just go up and go to it and stay with him that night, drive back, after I
Those
go to
meetings-
Brownells and then come back the next.
Yeah.
Those meetings are, some of them can be pretty interesting, and
Yeah.
that's what I've been to a few, and I mean, on my own dime, which that's something we're gonna talk about here in a minute that we didn't put on here. Maybe setting aside some money for training, so everybody, make it available to you guys so that we can, and go get some training if we need it. Cemetery, mowing and landscaping, we got lucky, last year was pretty dry, so I think the cemetery probably a little bit, were they under their, are they?
I think I'm gonna be right on track with the 6,000, that's kind of what I put in here again this year.
That's what we went back. The memorial board, they're supposed to be starting, they were gonna get,
I don't know if he showed or not. He was supposed to be down here, I think, what was it?
I
Tuesday
talked
or
to
Wednesday.
Boyd Monday, he thought they were gonna be Tuesday or Wednesday to give them, try to get that moved and put where we talked about last summer.
Mhm.
Gonna come down and work on it, so that would be spending some of their money, and then
They've got somebody talk to you,
I
I had 2 guys, but.
Brian Bennett, and geez, Boyd mentioned the last cemetery board meeting, I called Brian, same thing, he hadn't been down yet, and I think Boyd, I don't care, can't.
Kind of like that job on that.
I think Boyd got on him a little bit, and he said he would come down, so.
Nobody wants to do these little jobs.
Right.
Yeah, it's a pain.
Nobody cares.
yeah, I mean, that's, but he was thinking it was, they were finally gonna move forward, they got all the nameplates, they
Yeah.
just don't have the sign built, so, I think from talking to him that they are to start moving forward with that, so that's kind of where they are. I think that 6,000, from talking to them the other day, I think his answer was, if you tell me how much it rains, I'll tell you if that'll be enough money or not, so.
It was kind of discussed, and I think this can be done because the clerk's here and she'll let me know if it can't. We think that what they had last year will be fine,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Can there be kind of like a little sludge fund or whatever we want to call it over there in case they have to mow an extra time or two? Which I did.
I think they'll just, I think he'll kind of work with us that way. I
Yeah.
think he's pretty nice,
Yeah.
pretty easy long.
Yeah, they're actually bidding their contract too, but I can't imagine anybody doing it for less than 375 and doing the job that he does. So that is up for bid, and we'll see how that shakes out, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna be, probably 375 would probably be not
If
accurate.
you get somebody less bid than that, you're gonna get what you pay for. It's
That's-
gonna be bad.
Those guys do a good job.
Yeah, they
right?
do a
I think
really, they do a really good job.
It's never a problem, but that's, like I said the other day, if I call up Celix and ask for a certificate of insurance, I'll get it. Some of the others, I don't know.
Okay, as we're getting to this library portion of the budget, she just brought this in. The city's amount, still $4,500. You see where they get the rest of their funding from, it's all included in there. Their total budget will be $18,700. All broken down, very thorough,
That's,
just like it always is.
that's pretty much what we did last year, I
Yeah.
think.
I don't,
You know, our employee benefits, they get their employee benefits there too, but
Yeah,
they also
and
get
that-
a portion of what we receive.
Yeah, so the actual city allocation was 4,500, stayed the same, and then that other government number was what we get for the tax levy to pay for the payroll benefits. So it's not actually considered the allocation, but it is part of money that comes from the city as well.
okay. And that's,
When they're talking, they're gonna cut a lot of stuff, the state and the counties, coming from the state all the way down.
that's kind of, when you go to the county meetings, that's what you hear all over the place, is just yeah.
You're talking backfill again, or?
Backfill.
Well, they're after the backfill.
Programs, and they're,
You know, backfill to us is nothing. Backfill to Atoma's a hell of a lot of money. And then you go start looking at Des Moines places,
you know,
you go to a league meeting, I don't care if it's Democrat or Republican, the legislature's not very well talked about.
no, they definitely. So then as you see, that's the rest, basically the rest of the budget there was basically library for expenditures. They expected yes.
I haven't updated the library yet, whenever I
Okay.
did these.
But last year we budgeted 250,605. And then this year, expected year total, is that right? 280,000, basically 281,000. But we are, yes, projecting more on the income side, on the revenue side. You flip to that page. We should be getting a little bit more this year on property taxes than we did a year ago. Evaluations come in higher, which is good. That's a good thing, getting more money in property taxes. As you can see, budget estimating just under 37,000. And then the property taxes there. Ag land, $85. The emergency levy, $1,220. FICA and HIPERS, see, employee benefits, they pay in $7,000. Other than the employee benefits, $2,077. Liability, property, self-insurance costs, $8,500.
On these, the ones in gray, I have not updated, the ones in white, I did. Like the employee taxes and things, I have to narrow down for sure, kind of what we're gonna have for salaries, so I know what number to put in there. And I don't have the information yet on their insurance, the total. We just levy for what we need on those, ones there that say.
Speaking of that, I need to ask the mayor something. Or maybe end the meeting. What do you want to do about the water tower valuation? I give up. We
can't get a,
Well, she's gotta have the super duper piece of paper that says it's gonna cost, I'll pick a number, 700,000 to put it in. I don't know, maybe somebody besides me can get it, but I'm not having any luck.
okay.
I really, frankly, I sold insurance for 30 years. I don't see the problem with telling the agent, we think we need more coverage on it. I talked to a guy from McGuire, he told me it costs $650,000 to put another one up like that. I'd say put 700, 750 on it, pad yourself a little bit, have a nice day, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
I'll put a call into the supervisors and see if maybe those guys can get us something in writing we can take to William. Because that's what,
And she seems to want it in writing, so.
because what she has down is 450,000, so if the water tower, if we needed to replace it,
The San F5 tornado.
we'd be a pig without a paddle. Yeah, we'd be
You know,
lacking
I'm
a
pretty
lot.
sure we're underinsured. I think the guy from McGuire probably hit it pretty close, from what I've seen on the internet.
So I'll put a call into Parker and Morgan, one of them guys, and see if they can get us hooked up with somebody that can get us something in writing, because
So basically, we need a kind of an appraisal of it, or?
That's kind of what she's saying. I mean, it used to be with me, and this is just, if somebody, it's not really sounding flip. You got a rough idea. Say one of my clients had called me up and said that I need, you know, the greatly overinsured, I need another 25,000 on my house. It's not that big a deal, because you know if it's overinsured, it's not gonna get paid anyway, but I'd rather have them overinsured than underinsured. It doesn't cost that much more money. I mean, you're only looking at a few bucks in premium here, probably. Yeah.
so yeah, it's something we need to definitely look into.
I always patted them a little bit. There's nothing worse than a guy having a house burned down and finding out he's not got enough because they're not happy.
Then we get into the water, what the water and sewer funds will be bringing in there, and the garbage, looks like roughly 56,600 on the water, 44,000 on the sewer utility, and 19,500 on the sewer fee, 23,500 on garbage.
For those numbers, I used the average of the last 6 months on the gallons billed each month and calculated how much would be the base rate and how much would be the additional, so it kind of includes those that are over 1,000 gallons.
That $1,000 ICAP grant goes to safety, something to help with safety. I've got an idea where I want to go with that. I'd like to see us get a new camera system here at City Hall. The old one doesn't necessarily work all the time, I guess we'll put it that way. So I would definitely like to see that replaced in case we have an issue up here. I know there's been a couple times we have people coming screaming at the window. I would like to have a camera that worked and would pick everything up so we could see if we have a problem.
Visit with the attorney. I'm not sure about an audio on some of this deal as far as taping somebody.
Yeah.
But I know last little deal, I'd love to have an audio on that.
Yeah. And if we could find a way to, I mean, I don't know what
I think you
$1,000
probably
would get us,
could.
but if we could even get a camera set up in the park that would read here, that we could get it hooked up to the computer at City Hall, wireless, whatever, just in case there's any. I know we had some problems up there last summer with flower pots getting dumped over and that kind of thing. I just think anything that we own, I'd like to have a little more protection on, so we can do so, get some research done, and we'll figure out what it'd take to get a new camera system in here in place in town, so. Road use, money coming in, just under 36,000. Road use from the county, which we get 3,000 from them. Local option sales tax, and we'll transfer that to general, $31,000 estimated. When we took office in January, the general fund was in the hole. Well, it's in the hole currently at about 80,000, correct?
81,000 in the hole, and we have 84,000 in lost.
So after our meeting on Monday, we'll transfer that over, and we'll be, what we thought was gonna take us years and years to climb out of that general fund hole, we will be operating in the black in the general fund in 1 year. And that was basically due to the vote in November that passed. It's completely due to the vote in November that passed. So as that comes. We do still have negative in employee benefits.
A little bit in employee benefits, and then debt service, it's like 23,000 negative in debt service because they didn't pay the bills until the next year, and then they didn't have any budgeted for that year, so.
So we'll be,
We have to keep
so
on giving.
we're still
Chipping away.
chipping away,
Chipping
but
away.
the general fund
We'll keep-
deficit that was so huge, and we'll keep getting that down, but we'll be operating in the black in the general fund after 1 year, which is a
What was
small miracle,
But,
actually.
I know we'll address that Monday, but also we still, I really like that, well, like when you sent out a letter asking for that, we need to, if you don't mind, send out with one of the water bills. It'd be nice to do it
I think
every
we're
month,
gonna-
really, if you could sit down and write something. every
And I
month.
could, we talked about it with the postage and everything.
It's a lot of money and time involved doing it.
We thought maybe quarterly, do one every 4 months, or 3 months, I mean.
Well, we don't get anybody here and nobody knows about.
Right.
having these
And I've had,
things right now.
I bet I've had 20, 25 people come up and thank me for writing the one about the water rates increase, and there's been a lot of people that do like that.
Could we mail it quarterly and then post it monthly? Say like with the
I could
country
put
store,
one, well,
maybe down at the library and a couple other places.
Or our
At least-
Facebook
at least
page,
people
we
will
could do
talk,
that,
maybe.
and then maybe somebody.
And I'd like to think eventually a website, a few people go over to it. Brian on Facebook, everybody's on him too, but I helped Dinah fold all the.
But we, I
some of
mean,
the
we could
letters
do a
up.
month.
It does take a while.
Maybe do a monthly one on the computer, or post it there or something, and
I know you guys like the computer, but
I know.
it don't work. You can say what you want, but a few people watch this, but yeah.
Right.
Well, if you can get some drama going on Facebook, they'll all go over there and read it. But-
We want to avoid the drama.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of drama.
That's why we send the letters, avoid the drama.
So, okay, no.
But I definitely a quarterly letter, and then maybe we will,
Because I
like
think
Deb
that
said,
did wonders for you and for the whole city council, really, to get out what we're doing, trying to do.
and that's what I agree with you. I think it was very important, helped out a lot. Okay, utility tax replacement.
I think that's our franchise fee. I'm kind of second guessing myself whether that was the rollback or the franchise. I think it's the franchise.
The franchise fee we get from Alliant Energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
So one, something,
1%.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that one can go up to 5%, but I don't want to raise it. since
No.
We just got money from people for
So
100.
raise the water, I think we don't want to raise that fee, that franchise fees. Kind of good where it's at. Licenses and permits, $750 coming in from those. That's the estimate. And then miscellaneous, like last year we ended up with the
Donation.
donations for the trees, my grandfather's memorial. I think there was some other stuff come in.
The money for like cemetery costs and stuff. I think I have that kind of carry over on that line, but if people on a different line, probably on the cemetery side.
Yeah, but that's roughly 5,000 in that. Library revenue,
And that's different from what I've got here. It'll just be based on her budget. I'll update it to that.
okay. Alright. So that brings us into revenues, estimated at 290,225, which would give us a $10,000.
And I hope it'll be more, because when I was playing with our estimates this year, where we're at and where I expect to be, I think we're gonna do 295,000 this year, so it might be a little.
That would be, and a lot of that, I mean, we've been running at a deficit for so long that's just, again, can't be understated how huge that would be for us to come out with the surplus in the budget for a change. And will allow us to start doing some things moving forward. Like we're talking streets and maybe granting more money elsewhere to different things. So, guys, that's all I got for now. Ina, do you have anything to add, or is that, was there?
I just gave them some information here that they can look at, just evaluations, maybe the schedule, talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
I was thinking February 11th is our council meeting, that maybe we could do that adopting the proposed budget that night. I would like, if possible, to try to get this quicker on the budget hearing on March 4th. I'm not sure it's going to be possible, because I need to get it published ahead of time and everything. But the problem I always run into is the courier getting me the proof of publishing it, down to the nitty gritty of the day I have to have it in, and I finally get it. So if we can move that up somehow, and it would mean maybe another meeting extra in there, but if we could get it maybe right at the end of February or something instead of March 4th, move it up maybe a week. We'll just kind of play with that number and see what we can come up with.
So then the state would be happy if we had it all in or early.
Well, yeah, Ted couldn't handle the shock. I'm a little concerned about it if he sees 2 in a row.
But I want to thank you guys for everything you've done in the last year and make this run as smooth as it has. I know we've had a few bumps in the road, but for the most part, it's been, I wouldn't want to work with another group of guys. Appreciate everything you guys have done. And can't overstate that enough either.
You've done a little bit.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Ben to adjourn, second by Van Dorn, all in favor?
Aye.